Oof. Hi everyone, welcome to Nonsense Whisky. My name's VinPF and welcome to the hottest room in the world. It's summertime in the UK and that means that it's completely unbearable for all of us Brits. We like it a little bit cold. I know a lot of you are going to be much hotter than me, but with the studio lights it's very warm in here and hopefully the old red face isn't showing up too much post-edit. Now today I've got another August celebration video for you, and this is my third-ish review. Now I'm taking a bit of artistic license with that because it was actually my fourth review, but my third review was of the Old Pulteney Duncansby Head, and it's an airport exclusive and I can't get hold of that again to do, so I thought I would skip ahead and do my fourth review because it's the easily attainable Buffalo Trace. Worldwide you can get this pretty much everywhere. This particular bottle is the 70 milliliter, the 700 milliliter, and 40%. Now I know in the Americas you get probably the 750 or the 75 sil, and you probably get 45%, and that probably is elsewhere as well. I think even Germany, Europe has that sort of thing. We don't get it over here, so this is what we get. So please bear that in mind for this review. If you perceive any negative comments at all, which I hopefully you won't, then that'll be the reason why you probably got a better bottle than I have. Now you also might realise that I've got this brand new microphone here in front of me, so let me know if you like the audio. I'm not sure how it's going to work out, we'll see. It's a little bit of experimentation, so you might see it moving around as we crack on with the reviews in the future. Let's get on to the whiskey and see what we got. Now one of the best things about this whiskey, not only is it worldwide available, but it's also incredibly cheap. So for me, in the UK it's around £20, but very often you can get it a bit cheaper than that, maybe even close to £15. I know in the US you can get it for normally about $15, which is an absolute steal. We have some laws that says you can't have kind of pricing any less. I think it's mostly Scotland, but that bleeds down to us as well sometimes. This has been on the market since 1999 and is actually the only major bottling by Buffalo Trace that carries Buffalo Trace. Now they also do some experimental series, a single cask series, and their White Dog, but everything else they produce is under different brand names, stuff like Eagle Rare, Colonel E.H. Taylor, George T. Stagg, W.L. Weller, that sort of thing. Loads extras as well. They just keep chucking out different brands. Not sure why, but it's their bag. It's also what we call a low rye bourbon. So it's, as we know, it's got to be at least 51% corn. But this one, they bulk it out with rye. They add a little malted barley in there to jumpstart the kind of whole process going. But it's probably around less than 10% rye, mostly corn, and then probably 5 to 10% malted barley as well. That's usually 5% is usually a good indicator in bourbon. They might put a bit more. We don't actually know. They keep it a secret, but it makes it more interesting, right? What we can know for sure is that it's quite a lot of corn, so you can compare it to other things like it if you're not sure. Let's get into the actual whiskey itself and see what we've got. Now on the nose, it's a pretty typical kind of bourbon-y flavour. Vanillas, oakiness, honey. There's nothing in there that would kind of make me know for sure it was Buffalo Trace, but who cares? It's a good smelling bourbon. Enjoying that. Let's try on the palate. Now it takes a second or two to really kick in. The first instantaneous kind of thing happening, very thin, but then after that there's this kind of sweet spiciness that's coming through. It is very sweet, sweeter than a lot of bourbons that I've tried, sweeter than other things that even Buffalo Trace put out, like Eagle Rare, much higher of the rye content. So you can tell this is that high corn sweetness in there. Then after that you're kind of getting like brown sugars, the typical vanillas, more of that oakiness coming through. Finish is medium, but it's got a kind of really nice punchy spiciness to it. So it sticks around here a lot, but not here. You know, sometimes you get those kind of alcohols that really stick around down here. This isn't one of those, but it sticks around long enough to make you interested in having another sip for sure. It doesn't drip off into kind of sourness or anything like that. It's very sweet all the way through. Now, interestingly, for me at least, this was the first bourbon that I ever tried, to the point where I actually called it Bourbon a lot on the video. So if you're interested in the gag reel of that, then check out the end of the video because I'm going to put a little clip together of that, and also my terrible intro sequence. Enjoy. But I'm really glad I did try it, because it opened this whole world into bourbons for me. Now I'm a huge fan of bourbons. It's the same with peated whiskey. I didn't like that when I started the channel either, but the channel is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. It wasn't necessarily to share with the world. Thank you all for watching, but that's not why I started. I started because I wanted to kind of get into this kind of whiskey journey and start trying things that I wouldn't normally try, and doing 2 reviews a week has really made that happen for me. Trying things from all over the world, all different things I wouldn't even think about buying. And this was one of those things. I forced myself to buy a bottle, wasn't sure what I would like, did like it, ended up trying a whole heap more bourbons, and now the channel is kind of getting onto the point where I cover bourbons and world whiskies as much as I do scotch. So hopefully you're enjoying that, hopefully you're enjoying the new mic, and I'll see you again on another No Nonsense Whisky video. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 4 of No Nonsense Whisky Reviews. Bourbon is